All right, so let's create the application gateway. So I will search for application gateway. Here you will find application gateway. So now application gateway is also like a load balancer, but it also has the ability to filter the traffic. That's the only thing. So once you create the application gateway, and keep in mind that application gateway is also like expensive one. So you have to be careful. Always use basic if you don't want to spend more money on this one. So I will deploy this one in test group 4, and I will say the application gateway as APGW application gateway, and the location will be as usual West US2. Standard, different standards, then you have to pay for more. I'm selecting standard V2. Auto scaling is yes, because, and I'm providing the instance like scaling unit of 1, maximum of 10 for the load balancing. And availability zone, if you want to provide any backup or something, you can provide here. Or HTTP2 traffic, this one is the latest one. So if you have configured your website or your virtual machine with those HTTP2 traffic, then you have to enable. But for now, we don't have any. Virtual network, we are selecting for V4 in our resource. Now, the next option is front ends. So always the front end will be public. So you have to create a new public IP address. So I will say add new, because we are already using this public address with the VPN. So I will say add new, and I will say like application gateway public, and I say okay. So new public IP address for this one. And the backend, so I don't have any particular virtual machine, nothing. I have empty. So what I will do, I will create a backend pool, empty one. So I will give like backend pool, and I will say that add backend pool without targets, because I don't have any virtual machines. And I will say add, and I will go for the configuration next.
This front end or back end, like which way we are looking from, like because you have already a public IP which was given by the ISP, right? So we are creating a public IP. So yeah.
What I am telling to my application gateway is that this is my Azure. So front end will be public, internet, all of this internet, always. Okay. And the back end will be my resources, virtual machines here. And I will be creating in between the rule. Application gateway will create a rule between that. Whenever the traffic is coming, like if the traffic is ICMP or UDP, it will reject, because I did not create any rule for them. If I create HTTP traffic, it will allow the HTTP traffic. Like it will act as a firewall.
Okay.
It does not have the capability to detect the malware. So it will do the load balancing between these virtual machines, number one, as well as it will also filter the traffic. Whatever the rules you have created, according to that rules, that traffic only will be allowed.
Okay.
So clear?
It's basically sitting as a as a firewall kind.
Yes.
Theory, right?
So, but with very less capabilities. That's all.
Yeah.
So now, what did I say for the application gateway? Like front end public will be coming from the internet, and the backends is my like for my servers or DMZ servers, all of those. And I'm creating in between them like rule. So what I will say, I will create a rule here. My rule will be like rule number 1. Listener name will be like public always, or you can give any name. And the front IV will be public. So I will say rename this one like internet, and say HTTP protocol. If you have a HTTPS, then you have to provide the certificates. For now, demo purpose, we will go by the HTTP, and the listener type is basic. That means only one website is running. If you are running multiple websites, then you have to provide the multiple URL here. I'm selecting the basics. And if you have configured like error page 403 and 502 something, then you can provide the URL also here. So now I have configured the listener, that is the public end. So now I'm configuring with the Azure one. So I have created a backend pool for this one. So I will select that backend pool. And HTTP settings, I don't have any HTTP settings. So I will create a new settings for HTTP. So what I will say in this one, like I will say like HTTP 80. I'm giving a name, and I'm saying that HTTP backend port should be like 80, And if I did not configure any cookies or anything, because I don't have any for now, and like request timeout should be 20. After 20 seconds it should drop the traffic if no communication takes place, or like no authentication is going on, no one is coming. So request timeout is 20 seconds, and override with new host name, I'm saying no. If you do that one, then it will be like creating a mess up here, so you have to be careful with that one. Do not override with your host names. So next, in this settings, so I've only said the same thing. HTTP, I have given the name, I have given the port, that's it, and the timeout time is 20 seconds, that's all. So I have selected the HTTP settings. By default it has been configured here, but on the public end. But now I am configuring on the my Azure side. All right, so I will say add. So now this is the rule has been created between your public and your Azure server. So whenever the HTTP traffic is coming to this particular pool, definitely it will allow it. Okay. So next tags, if you want to give any tags like tag 1, and the value for this one like application gateway. If you can give any tags. Review and create. Validation run will check. Validation pass, then create. So now this was about the application gateway. Now we will talk about the DNS. So I think we already know the DNS. So now in Azure, how it works is like we will create a DNS in Azure. Okay. And we do have like a virtual machine in Azure here. So this is my DNS server, like a DNS record. And this is my virtual machine. So I will define the IP address of this virtual machine in this DNS. Okay.
You don't need to join the domain controller. Yeah.
No, I'm just drawing this one. So okay, what I will do, I will clear this one. Okay. So now this is my DNS record. Okay. We do not have the server in Azure. We just have the DNS. All right, DNS records. So it will act as a server also, but it is not a server. So just it has a capability just to you can create a record over there and it can expose to the internet. That's all it can do. All right. And this is my virtual machine with public IP address. So I will define this public IP address in DNS. All right. So this is related to the Azure only. Because if I deploy a virtual machine here and I have the public IP address, I cannot communicate with this public IP address because I do not have any DNS record in Azure. Even if I provide on my domain DNS, the one which are like GoDaddy, Namezylo, different providers are there. So even if I provide the public IP address, it will be replicated, but the problem is that you are able to communicate with this public IP address, but you cannot access that virtual machine. So after the replication, it will go to this public IP address, but this public IP address, the traffic will reject because it does not have any DNS record to forward the traffic. So what Azure will do, it will come to Azure, but it will reject the traffic. It will say that I don't have any DNS record related to this IP address, so I cannot allow you to access any of those machines. So once you have provided this public IP address here on the DNS record, the Azure will redirect the traffic to your virtual machine automatically. So clear? Did you understand?
Yeah, this is basically you are just defining your public IP address in
yes.
DNS
so
layer, right? That's what you're doing. Yeah.
This is my Azure, so I am deploying the virtual machine, and I am also getting the public IP address, but I cannot able to communicate with that public IP address because when I come to Azure does not have any DNS record within them.
Yeah.
So that's why he's unable to communicate with this machine, and he's unable to forward that traffic to that particular machine.
Yes.
So what I will do, I will go ahead and create a DNS record. So application gateway, it will take 10 to 15 minutes to create that one. So don't get panic about that one. So what I will do, I will say just DNS. You see here DNS zones. So I'm creating the DNS zone. So I will say add a new zone. And I will say test group like test 4. And I will give the name, any name you can give it, like tst4.com. So I am giving my domain name here. And if you want, you can provide the tags as usual, review and create, in progress, validation pass, and create.
So the tags actually, is it mandatory or just?
Now, if you want to communicate with your virtual machine, then you have to, because you can communicate like if you deploy a virtual machine with Windows, that's okay. You can have an RDP connection and all those things. But what if you have like the Linux machine, you can communicate with SSH, and you have hosted a website in your Linux machine or Windows machine. How can people communicate with you? So currently you can see here that I have created a DNS record now. I will go to that DNS record, and by default, this is the DNS record here. So now what I will do, I will go back to my virtual machine and I will show you an example how we have configured our website. So saras.care is a website. This is the virtual machine here. Okay. So this is my virtual machine, which is running on a Linux machine. See, Linux CentOS 8.1. And this is my public IP address. Okay. So now the website is being hosted in this machine. So how people can communicate with this website? So if I go on my DNS server, if I give like this public IP address, even though it cannot communicate because you are not providing any DNS record within Azure. So to try to communicate with this one, what I will do, I will go to my DNS record. All right. So in this DNS record, this is the DNS record related to that machine. So I will click on that one. So what I have created, you see here, I have created a record with the public IP address, and this is the same NS record which we have to provide definitely, because whenever you provide this one, all the traffic will be diverted to the Azure. These are the Azure different domains. So once the traffic is hit by like from the public internet, it will hit to these servers. After hitting these servers, it will cross check the DNS records and it will forward the traffic to the particular virtual machine. So now if I go to my terminal, if I say that ping saras.care, you can see that public IP address is 38. So he is able to, public internet will able to know that in your virtual machine has been hosted in your Azure. So particularly if anyone wants to go to saras.care, that traffic will be diverted to these domains. After coming to this domain, it will automatically redirect to this particular virtual machine where we have hosted our website. So what I will do, I will go back to my DNS record. Here is the newly created DNS record. By default, you have these two things. So if you want to add any record, you can select here, add record. You can type like www. This is your domain name. Type A name, C name, whatever the type might be. There are different types of records. So I'm creating the C name for now, and I'm giving that TTL 1 hour, not 1 hour. Always give 1 second. It will be quick. If you give 1 hour, then you have to wait for 1 hour to replicate that one, propagate that one. So make sure that this every time in Azure you give 1 second only. Then you say add. So this is how you will be adding different records. So if you want to add the IP address record, then you have to select a new record. Then you will be selecting a record, and here you will be providing at.
This one, like the type A is for at, and
yes, how they are like type A is different, AA is different, C name is the common name, MX is different, TXT is different. So they are like different categories. You have to.
Okay.
Yes, because for this one we can provide a IP address. For this one we can provide the common name which we have created just now. And for the TXT is used for the certificate validation, where we will be creating different kind of records. So what I will do, I will show you the one which we have created here. So here you can see that A type is related to the IP address. By default, this too has been created by DNS record. And here you can see TXT, that is my certificate authority. So this is my certificate authority link, and the value for that link is this one. So when I click on this one, so whenever you are applying for a certificate, they will give you a particular value of this one. They will say that you have to propagate this kind of settings. You have to create a record on your DNS server. So I will create this record in Azure with this value, particular value. They will provide you the value also. So what I will do, I will go back here and I will say like free SSL certificate. Okay. So when I go for free SSL certificate, this is the website I am currently using. So what I will do, I will give you like saras.care. Okay. So this is my public IP address. This is my domain name, saras.care with HTTPS. So I will say like create a free SSL. So what it will do now, it will ask me for, it's already been like, I do have already login details. So I will say saras.care and I will give you, otherwise I will click on login because I have already created this one. You see here, I already have the domain name. Login incorrect, email, okay, I will register it. So once I provide my domain name over there, it will ask me to register here. So once I register here, it will might be asking to update my one. No. Okay, now. So I will go for a new certificate here. Okay. And I will say the enter domain name saras.care. All right, this one is I think might be 90-day certificate. Next. Auto generate CDR. Next. I'm going for the free one. Next. I don't think so. This one. Just hold on, not this one because SSL, yes. That might be different website or something. Not this one. Just want to show you the records which I have created here. So not this one too. Alright, my bad luck, they have changed that one. So what I will do, create a new one, because whenever I provided the create a new SSL, they have given me these details here. So they asked me to create these records on my DNS server. So I created here. So I have created this one for certificate, this one, and as well as this one. These two records which they will provide, the certificate authority will provide you with these two records. So you have to create these two records on your Azure DNS as well as on your domain provider. That is our name silo. That is the domain provider for us. So I will log in into that one. So I will go for a domain manager. So this might be like GoDaddy, different providers according to you, but for me it's like name silo. So I will click on that particular domain. So whenever you are applying for a certificate, they will ask you to verify your DNS domain name. So they will provide a records like you see here. I have created here also. You can see here these two records. So the certificate authority will provide you with the two records and with the value. It will be it will guide you that you have to create this record in TXT record, and this is the value for that one. So here you can see TLT is 3600. That means after 1 hour, it will take 1 hour to propagate. So whenever I create a new value here on my DNS server provider, it will take 1 hour to propagate and to verify. So I have to wait for 1 hour to verify this particular record with CA. But with the Azure, it's no time. Within 1 second, it's available to propagate. So where is that one? Here TXT, and it is 1 second here. All right. Any doubts regarding the? So this is regarding the DNS server only. Here, this is our record. So you can provide a new record by saying that name. If you are providing an IP address, then you just provide the @ and you can provide that 10.0.0. something, whatever might be the address.
So this one only I just in 2-3 line, like, so basically when we are creating this one, so we are giving like a DNS records only for that
Yes.
one, right?
Yes.
So here I can see already we have this DNS records. So why we are adding those values?
See here by default, these are the two records, okay? But this DNS record, whenever I am coming from the internet like saras.care, how my DNS provider will know that where is my particular virtual machine?
Okay.
Because my domain provider is just providing the domain name. So when I go to my domain name, so everyone will be coming to my domain name, okay? Whenever I type in Google saras.care, it will go to the name silo DNS server. So after going to the name silo DNS server, if the name silo, my DNS provider does not have any virtual machine details or IP address which they have to redirect the traffic, how they can redirect the traffic to the Azure?
Okay.
All right, a little bit confusing. So now
yeah.
See, I'm creating a record here, okay? DNS record. So in this Azure DNS record, I am providing the IP address, okay, of the virtual machine here. Okay. So this is related to the virtual machine only. Okay. And by default, it has created two records, one for the propagation of the DNS, one for the email. Okay. So these two. And another one will be the regarding to the CA. We will come on later on that one. So what happened is like I am providing the Azure DNS with my virtual machine IP address. Okay. And it has provided whoever wants to communicate with this particular IP address, they have to communicate with this one.
Okay.
So they have to communicate with this domain first.
Okay.
So whatever the traffic will be redirected, it will communicate with this domain. After that, it will be redirecting to this particular virtual machine.
Yes.
So this is inside the Azure. So inside the Azure clear, right? Whenever the traffic comes, it will hit this one. And we are providing the A record saying that whenever the traffic saras.care comes in, you have to forward the traffic to this particular virtual machine. Clear?
Okay. Yes.
So now what I will do, I will go back to my this whiteboard and here. So this was regarding about the Azure DNS. So now how people should know, how should my domain server know? My GoDaddy is saying me that I have your saras.care, okay, but where is your virtual machine? Whenever the traffic comes, where should I send it? So I will create a record saying that this is the IP address here. Okay. I will provide the same records, IP address here, and I will also provide these two records also. Because whenever the traffic is coming from the internet, it will hit this server, okay? First, after hitting this server, it will forward this IP address. So what it will check this DNS server, okay, whenever the traffic comes here, I have to first redirect the traffic to the Azure DNS domains.
Yes.
So whenever the Azure DNS domains receive the traffic, it will automatically redirect the traffic to the virtual machine.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just you have to learn the DNS server. It took me like almost 6 months to learn this DNS.
Yeah.
Because I am doing my CCI, it's very much complicated. Still, I am stuck with the AnyConnect VPN with DNS issue. So it's once you understand this one, it is very easy. But you have to understand what actually is happening, how the traffic is moving. That's more important.
Yeah.
So now what I have done is like in Azure, I created a virtual machine, and I have hosted a website in that one. So for that, to recognize that virtual machine as a website, I am creating a DNS record in Azure. So by default, these are my domains in Azure. So whenever the traffic hits to this particular IP address, first they will hit this DNS domains.
Yes.
After hitting this DNS domain, automatically within second, they will redirect to this one.
Okay.
So when I go to my domain provider like NameSilo or GoDaddy, I will log into that account.
And you have to let those DNS records to this guy know that this is where you have to forward. Right?
That's what I'm showing. So what I will do, see in here, he's asking me for the name servers. So I am providing the name servers of the domain, Azure domains. So NS1, NS2, NS3, NS4, the same records I will provide here, 4 different records.
Sure.
Okay. After providing these records, what I will do, I will go to here DNS records, and I will, after providing the name servers, that means this server, whenever the traffic hits, it will automatically divert it to the Azure.
Yes.
So now there is no stopping. Whenever I type in Google Saras.care, it will come to my name silo. After the name silo checks in, okay, Saras.care, forward it to the Azure. So once I forward that one to the Azure, I will create with the particular IP address a record saying that whenever someone comes with saras.care, go to the Azure domain and provide this particular IP address over there. So once the Azure receive that one, like, okay, this is the public IP address and this is the name domain coming from name silo. Okay, I have to forward this traffic to this particular virtual machine. It will automatically forward the traffic. And coming to the certificate authority, when you are creating a new certificate, if you want to install a new certificate, then they are like 2 different records here, TXT records. So whenever you apply for the SSL, they will provide you with these records and values you have to create in your domain as well as in Azure domain, DNS. So once they have been verified, like Saras.care has been verified because everyone can browse. So now once these have been propagated, they will provide you with the SSL certificate after verification. So this is regarding with the CA certificate, for which we are not interested, but I am saying you because in case if you are applying for the free SSL certificate, whenever you apply, they will ask you to create a TXT record, 2 different kinds of record, which you have to create in your Azure DNS as well as in your particular domain DNS. So once this has been propagated, it will be verified. After verification, it will be creating HTTPS traffic. So I will go to my particular website now because I have provided all the details. So I click on this one. So here you can see the lock has been assigned. So show certificate, this is how it will come. After you provide the proper that particular records, it will propagate for 1 hour. After 1 hour, it will be verified by the CA. After then only it will issue you the certificate. Then you can import it. Okay.
So basically, whenever we get this SSL certificate errors, so
yes,
that's where we should look for, where we are getting those, like the public, that free, we took that one, right? That SSL.
But certificate errors are like different kinds. One will be like not untrusted one.
Yeah.
So not trusted means what is actually happening is that it has been not recognized by the internet CAs, certificate authorities like Microsoft, Google, they have not been recognized.
Hmm.
Another issues will be like it will be HTTP traffic which will not be secure.
Oh, okay.
So that's one the two different kinds of certificate errors here. So one will be HTTP, it will show you by default. Okay.
Yeah.
It's the connection is not secure. And another one certificate error will be that it has the, if you have import your self-signed certificate, then it will show that this certificate is being not recognized.
Hmm.
So it will show an error.
Okay.
So all clear with the DNS server? How the DNS works in Azure?
Yes.
So before finishing up anything?